All right, guys. Hopefully we're live here. Can you guys hear me? I think we're live. I don't see myself though. Okay, there we go. Hallelujah. Oh man, I tell you, what is going on with my desktop? All right, guys. Oh, I'm hearing myself here. Can you guys hear me? Okay, there we go. All right, so what's going on, guys? I just want to update you very quickly on what to expect here in the next 24 hours, maybe 48. It could be 72, but I think no, actually, it couldn't be 72 because the NOTAM is for the 4th through the 6th, and tomorrow morning, no. Tomorrow afternoon, West Coast time, 3 o'clock, is the 4th. And then it goes into Monday and Tuesday. So it is 72 hours, I guess. But I think it's going to happen in the next 48. I have a feeling that it's going to happen in the next 48 hours. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about this event. I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown of what you might be expecting here to see, and the possibility and the literal potential for us to be catapulted into some kind of catastrophic failure of diplomacy and or expectations of what we think the other side is capable and not capable of doing or not doing, because they're just not that crazy. But maybe they are that crazy. Maybe they are pushing us over the brink. Maybe they are suicidal. Maybe they don't really care, and they know that we're going to do it anyway, so they're going to go out in a blaze of glory, and they're going to try to hit Israel as hard as they can. And they have the potential to do it because they have hypersonics. And who knows what else they have. They're saying that they don't have nukes, but that remains to be seen. There was threats in the beginning of this by Iran that said they had EMP tipped missiles. Now, if you know what an EMP is, that's a small nuke, electromagnetic pulse. Why would they have said that? All right, so here we go. Round 3. This is tit for tat, and it's escalating. And now we're sending in more B-2s or B-52s and more refueling tankers, the Stratus something, I forget what they call them. They're the big refueling tankers the U.S. is sending. And we're promising oversight and help because they're expecting a barrage of thousands of these flying, I'll just say that, what it is. I don't want to say too many things right here on YouTube because it gets all like, fuzzy when you say too many bad words that are harsh, that cause people distress emotionally. So we try to keep it, so we just let you know what's coming. Okay, so everybody get ready because we're going to be covering it live on Rumble when it happens. It'll be a Rumble broadcast. I might be just doing a little simulated broadcast here or a simulcast broadcast here on YouTube too, but the good stuff is all going to be on Rumble. Obviously, we can't show you a whole lot of stuff here because of copyright, and there's a whole bunch of things I'd like to say and do, but there are certain things you can't talk about as well, or you get shadow banned. So basic news, they have kind of relaxed a little bit on certain things. It used to be a lot worse, but it's still there. It's still there, and I still want to kind of abide within that certain framework when I'm on YouTube. The return on views for support, and I'll just say it like that, is much greater than Rumble. Rumble is like 4 times less. Now they've upped the ante recently, and they sent me a news or an update on election coverage, and they said that they've doubled revenue for this period. I don't know if it's just for this period and or a feature if I'm going to be covering the election. And I definitely will be covering the election. Okay, so the election coverage will be there in the context of commentary that not everybody's going to appreciate because so many people are putting their hope and trust in the politics of things, and their desire to save themselves in this world is of greater importance than actually committing and truly turning and repenting from their way of thinking. It's really a lifestyle that causes a way of thinking, and really only God can change that. And if you don't get that right, it doesn't matter what you get on the. It doesn't matter if you've gained the whole world and lose your soul. What does it profit? It profiteth you nothing, according to the King James. So if you gain the whole world and lose your soul, it doesn't profit you a darn thing. So why am I going to be sitting here, trying to find my little place in this world and trying to go along with especially with what I see? I can see right through what's going on. Most people are following it like, blind sheep. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. That's fine if you disagree with me. But don't say I didn't tell you so after the fact. It's going to be a repeat of 2020, if not worse. And I think it's going to be much worse. I think America is on the brink of falling apart right now, actually, socially, economically, and militarily. I think something terrible is going to happen militarily as well. So let's go ahead and get into what I'm looking at here really quickly. I'm just going to go through it really fast and put this out, and then I got to go. There's a lot of stuff I still got to do here. I'm making some pizzas, and my kids are all waiting for me, and it's Saturday night. You know how that goes. My kids are awesome, by the way. Everything I do is for my kids, but most high of the Lord, actually. But the kids obviously are, and the family is right there, most importantly. And you, and all of you out there, this is a very important part of what I do too. This is a very big part of the outreach that I believe God's put on my heart to do. All right, so here we go. And this is an article you can find right there on blazingpress.com. So if you want to repost it or let people know what you're seeing here, obviously this is a NOTAM, notice to all airmen. That means don't fly in this area because things are going to be zinging past and on their way to Israel. And if you're in the way and you're flying and you happen to get hit by something, that's what a NOTAM is. A notice to all airmen. Things are going to be flying back and forth for a period of 72 hours from the 4th to the 6th. Now, the Middle East is like almost a day ahead of us. So, what is the 4th? The 4th begins here real soon, I think. I think they're already in the 4th right now. So they're already in the 4th. Or no, wait. No, the 4th begins at 3 o'clock East Coast or West Coast time. 3 o'clock West Coast time. So it'd be 6 o'clock p.m. tomorrow East Coast time. That's when the clock turns into the 4th. Okay, so anytime after the 4th, which I think it's going to be right out the gate. I think it's going to happen right out of the gate. And this is according to commentary from Hal. Some of you guys may know Hal T. But he goes on to say, Iran has officially declared a NOTAM, a notice to all air missions, from November 4th, 2:30 a.m. until November 6th at 6:30 p.m. Air travel restrictions confirmed. It appears hypersonics are ready to hit Israel. Iran is 7.5 hours ahead of Eastern time. And it says, I am reminded we fall back 1 hour to standard time tonight into tomorrow. So I have now just adjusted the U.S. time. So at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, which would be Sunday, it will be precisely 2:30 a.m. local time in Iran. That time also converts to 5 p.m. Central and 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. West Coast time. Okay, so everybody knows their time frame there. The longer Iran lets those missiles remain out in the open, the longer they are vulnerable to preemptive attack by Israel and the U.S. So logic dictates that the launches would begin right at the NOTAM time, which is 2:30 a.m. in Iran, and 7 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, on the U.S. East Coast. No, he meant 6 o'clock. So word on Intel Circuits is claiming that Iran has already pre-positioned 1,500 missiles for launch. But later, more recent intel is now saying that the total number is upwards of 4,000. Okay, 4,000. It says Israel has said if Iran does this, they will get double in return. They will be. It's kind of like when Trump says whenever he takes vengeance on anyone that has disrespected him and or attacked him in any way or some way, he'll hit him back 10 times harder so that nobody messes with him, right? It's called vengeance. And this is what they're doing. They're threatening double down. Whatever Iran does, they're going to do double. It is not known if Israel has such ballistic missile resources. Generally, the Israelis rely on aircraft to go after other countries. But the U.S. has sent enormous military resources. Now, we told you guys before the other attack that happened, I think it was, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, gave you a heads up before it happened because we saw the tankers flying, we saw U.S. jets in air, and the Israelis went after and did what they did to Iran in retaliation, just as we had given you the heads up. Nobody else was warning about when it was going to happen because nobody wasn't quite sure. They knew it was coming, but they weren't sure when. But we told you hours before it started, and nobody else was really talking about it. And we went live. We went live with it right before. And we're giving you another heads up. So I think it's going to happen tomorrow. The U.S. has sent enormous military resources into the region, and it is not hard to imagine immediate U.S. involvement, even though Congress has not declared this a arwa. I say it in the easiest sense. Now, you say too many of these bad words consecutively, you get dinged. So I'll just say it's a terrible thing that's going to happen here very soon, but Congress has not declared it. But that has never stopped us in the past, has it? Iran has also made very clear that the U.S., if the U.S. participates in attacking it, attacking itself or attacking Iran, that all U.S. bases in the Middle East will come under Iranian missile barrages. U.S. bases in the Middle East are all here. You can see them all here. You can also see where the USS Abraham Lincoln is. You can see where the bases are. The U.S. Fifth Fleet is there in Bahrain. We had a base there. And you can see the bases in Iraq and in Syria. Those are all going to be fair game from what they're saying. And like I said, they have hypersonics. Perhaps this is why the U.S. has sent such enormous military capabilities. They know what Israel's planning. Yes, they do. And they know U.S. bases will be attacked. Yep, I think they do. The big unknown is what Russia, China, and North Korea may do. Russia made clear we will not allow our BRICS partners and ally, Iran, to be attacked and destroyed. We will step in. China made clear we will not allow Iran to be destroyed. We will make measures, or we will take measures. North Korea has also made it clear we will help Iran if attacked. With this array of military all coming into play, Over the Israeli-Iran situation, the world could very well witness the outbreak of an utterly destructive, massive, even uncontrolled military escalation. It can happen so fast that there would be little to no warning. The clock is ticking. We are all now hours away from finding out what catastrophe is unfolding. I earnestly hope that you all are prepared with emergency food, water, medicines, etc. And that is a wrap on that. So you need to get prepared. And this is what I'm doing here is I'm preparing you for what is coming. And I do believe this is imminent. And it is very serious. And it's happening right before the elections on purpose to throw us into utter and complete as much chaos as possible. Now, my intuition and what I might expect, I'm not going to say everything because it's just, what's the point of actually putting it out there if I'm not sure? But my gut feeling tells me certain things, and I'm preparing accordingly. I might share it with certain people, in a private setting, but, not so much in an open format where, everybody's going to be like, half the people are going to be in agreement and the other half are going to hate, throw eggs. So, but by the way, we are doing more Patreon meetings. So if you want to be in on the inside scoop, be on the Patreon channel. I don't know if you can see that Patreon link. Get connected over there. We continue to do our morning updates or our morning devotions. And that many times I will update people on certain things at the end. But we do focus on spiritual growth and edification and encouragement and, just learning how to implement, apply these principles that we supposedly all say we believe, right? Do we actually live it out? That's what I talk about. And I get into teachings at times. I'll go into depth on certain passages as I feel led. And usually I don't really have a written script or anything. I just kind of go with what I sense I'm felt led to talk about. And it happens right on the fly. Some of you guys may not know that, but it does happen on the fly. So, anything can happen when you're doing that. It's kind of like without teleprompters. And so that's what we're going to be doing every morning, and we have been, so make sure you show up to that here on this channel. Usually it happens anywhere between 7 and 12, depending on when I get to it or when I get up. If I stay up really late, then it's going to be a later morning and probably afternoon if you're on the West Coast or on the East Coast. What else? What other news is there? Let me just go through some of the current really quick news that I'm seeing here right now. So B-52s have definitely taken off. Europe is now preparing for war. This is a Newsweek article that just posted. You might want to check that out on our Telegram page. They are stockpiling food in preparation for war. This is in Europe. And this is Newsweek. This article just posted yesterday. And basically it says they're doing it in case of war with Russia. And what it says here is that they're basically giving instructions on how to stockpile emergency supplies in the event of war breaking out or another major emergency. A new report has advised. The report on Europe's civilian and military preparedness, published on Wednesday, was written by former Finnish President Sauli Niinisto in his capacity as special advisor to the President of the European Commission. So this is another one of those weird warnings that comes from the European Commission or the European Community to all member states. We saw another one a while back about the possibility of nuclear conflict. And so there is a very heightened sense of we need to get ready. I know that Americans are probably feeling it as well, at least people that are listening to all those conspiracy channels, like some would say this is, but no, this is all legitimate information that you could find by just doing your own research and would come to the conclusions in your own mind and ask yourself, why isn't the mainstream media warning the American people? Are they part of the problem? Yes, they are part of the problem. They're not warning the people. Now, there's a fine line between warning and preparing and putting people in stark living terror by threatening them with, chaos if you're not elected. I know there's some people out there that do stuff like that where they'll see, I told you so. I told you this would happen. Well, we knew that was going to happen too. But there really wasn't a desire to really solve the problem, or there probably wasn't any capability of solving it. But now maybe there's an anointing now to control events as chaos unfolds. See, that's kind of personality characteristics of some that like to take advantage of chaos, and that's their comfort zone, where they have chaos, where they have the ability to capitalize off of chaos. And maybe that's a better place for said candidate. But the Democrats have definitely facilitated this environment, but it's also the Republicans. And this is what people don't get, is that it's actually a uniparty, and the powers that be that are manipulating both sides are doing it with the illusion that there is a choice. And that's the sad situation that people still don't get. They think that this is all, some kind of special event that America's never experienced before. A real president has come. This is like, it's like JFK. This is the last time that we've had a real president since JFK. Like, really? Seriously? I mean, are you guys that unaware of looking at what has happened and putting two and two together with your historical facts and your discernment, your God-given discernment? Come on. Wake up. Everybody that's not hearing this, that doesn't figure this out, is going to be sadly disappointed, if not taken by complete and utter surprise and horror at what's about to happen. And they can blame the left, and the left will blame the right, and then there'll be all that unrest within, and that's another problem, because now we've got unrest within, and we've got enemies foreign coming in and taking advantage of this, and they're going to take advantage of this. Believe me, they want to throw America into chaos. It says the report notes that the EU was not prepared for. Okay, so it goes into that too. So let's just say that it's not good. Let's see what else we got here. Really quickly before I go. Let me see. Robert Kiyosaki, many people know him on Twitter. He has a huge following. He's saying that banking crash has begun. A banking crash has begun. Oklahoma Bank shuts its doors. Watch out, bonds and commercial real estate markets next to go. And he also said something else about prepare. Let's see, what else did he say? He said something else. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. Well, I don't know where it's at, but anyways, lots of alerts in the last week now, escalating alerts in Israel too, by the way. Every time I wake up in the morning, it's just going off the charts, because that's when it gets dark, and that's when the night, that's when they usually make their moves, because they can do it under the cover of darkness, and that's when all the things happen out of the north. And now it's going to start happening out of the east, coming from Iraq and Iran. So And who knows, Yemen may jump in too. I think Yemen's going to do something at the same time as Iraq and Iran. And you're going to see probably Hezbollah doing the same thing. And who knows, Hamas, if there's still anything left of them, they'll probably be throwing some stones while everybody else is doing something else with the other, the other weapons. But it says U.S. Special Forces are in Iran right now. This was another interesting. This is coming from Civil Defense News on Twitter. They have 164,000 followers, and they're making the claim that special forces are in Iran at this moment. Somebody said, we will unfollow you massively if you're proved wrong. That's true. You can't just make stupid statements, and especially when you've got so many followers. This channel has 164,000 followers. I can't see special forces in Iran at this moment. I mean, is that true? That would be crazy if it's true. That's so true, man. That's just gonna happen. Americans are going to be sent out in the front lines, as the good rabbi has always said. The Goyim. Oh no, they say the Muslims are the broom. No, wait, no. How do you say it? Yeah, the broom. The Muslims are the broom we use to sweep up the Goyim. They use the Muslims to sweep up the Goyim, and that's anybody that's not in the club or a part of the tribe. You're just, you're a piece. You're a chess piece. You're supposed to be used in a certain way and then sacrificed, because that's your purpose. You're not. Anyways, when you figure these things out, you start understanding why things happen the way they do. It all makes sense. You'll figure it all out. I heard they took out all the missile defense systems of Russia that had been given to Iran. Is that true? I don't know. A lot of this stuff could be propaganda too. We don't know everything is if it's true or not. But anywho's. Yeah, and there's no source or anything, and people are all wondering what's going on here with this guy's statement there. But anyways, we posted it just in case there's something to it. Let's see what else we got here. All right, that's about it. All right, guys, God bless. I will update you guys if anything happens. In the meantime, stay frosty, stay prayerful. Keep your heads looking up. Your lift up your heads, for your redemption is drawing nigh, and make sure that you're all prayed up and you got your armored up. You're armored up, because there's some battling coming, and it's going to be intense. And emotionally, mentally, everybody needs to be prepared in every way, and physically. Go over to packingheat.co and get prepared. You can get prepared right now, right there. Get all your stuff that you need if you haven't gotten it, and we'll ship it right as soon as we get your order. If you do an order, we'll get that out. And I know there's a little delays here and there now because of things that are going down. I think it's going to get worse once it hits the fan. Everybody's going to be stocking up, just like they're doing in Europe. They're going to realize, oh my gosh, we're in the crosshairs now. We're at war, and now gas prices just shot up through the roof, and everything's the supply chain, everything, cyber attacks, critical infrastructure. I don't know. Nothing's working anymore. Like who knows what's going to happen, and it'll happen quickly. So make sure you're ahead of the curve before it hits. Get yourself ready. You can do it right there at packingheat.co. All right, guys. God bless. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Great night. Love you. Love you lots.